Oh shit. I should grab my other phone. Hold on, let me grab my other phone. Oh, you know what? Oh no, okay. Well, my iPad is dead. My charger. I didn't get no box. L-O-V-E dot dot dot. What's that song about Wale? We can never be. I don't know why we try. I don't know why we try. I see tears dropped in your eyes. I can make it all better. Oh, the phone. It doesn't stretch far enough. Okay. We'll have to make it work. We have way too much to drink. Okay, hello, 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 hello. Okay. All right. So, weekly update. First of all, the week already started off with a fucking whimsy, okay? So, I'm going to use the example of the man on TikTok that basically, like, it was an Uber ride. And on the Uber ride, he got these people that just came from church, and they were talking about the rapture and how Jesus is coming back, and they were, letting go of all these things. In the event of that, their soul, their bodies will be taken and as they ascend to heaven. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with people, but there's nothing in the Bible that says Jesus's ETA or tells us about Jesus's whereabouts. There is no find me on Jesus's phone. Okay? Excuse me. Don't know how we got there or why we think that there is a tracking device on Jesus, but I'm telling y'all right now, it's not. Okay? All this rapture information is basically, it's their version of basically the hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Trying to make sure this phone charge. Who is this? Happy birthday. Birthday? Bitch, my birthday is in fucking March. Hold on. Happy birthday, baby girl. What the fuck you talking about? My birthday's in March. Okay. Don't know who the fuck that is, but whatever. Anywho. Okay, here we go. So all of this is a physical representation of what the spiritual aspects that are happening, okay? We had the eclipse happen. It was a lunar or solar, whichever one, but an eclipse is when the moon and the sun do a dance. And so basically the energy that we feel that is very abrupt, that is what they are calling the rapture. There is a large, or there is a deep confusion, a deep confusion going on in the collective. I think the confusion is coming from people's inability to ground themselves in their own intuition. You're probably like, OG, what do you mean? People are not allowing their spirit to rest, okay? They cannot seem to ground themselves in the energy of faith. They cannot seem to ground themselves in an energy of least resistance. So when we have all these conversations about the rapture and you got people giving survival tips and like what's going to happen now, that's where this psychosis is coming from. Right now our collective is suffering from spiritual and religious psychosis. They're suffering. They are suffering. It's to the point now where I'm not even like surprised, but I'm at this point, like I told y'all last week, I'm very disgusted with the collective. I don't know what disgusts me more. Is it the passive aggressive underlining of acceptance, or is it the illusion of the proximity to a person? I'm not understanding what is it, because it's really reminding me that a lot of people are suffering from their own personal problems and issues and discrepancies that they are putting out on the collective. Okay? People are, their projections are going far. People are taking it to hell. And my biggest thing is, if you're going to take something to hell, you better be ready for whatever comes back at you. Whatever you do during these times, you better stand on all 10 of them toes, 2 of your heels, your knees, your shins, your shoulders, your hands, your fingers, the soles of your feet, the 2 kneecaps that connect your thighs and your shins. You better stand on that shit. This week, whatever you decide you want to take to hell, whatever you want to get revenge for, whatever you're going to have, you're going to project, you better be ready to get whatever it's taking that comes at you. Whatever comes at you, you better be ready to take it. Because I had pool cards or whatever, and the first thing I had, the energy I got from is that you're going to have to go out on a limb. You know, somebody be like, I'm going out on a limb right now. I'm going out on a limb. Okay, that means they're going based off something for face value. I'm going out on a limb for you. I'm extending an olive branch to you. Okay, you're gonna have to bend to the wham in the circle. Like, you're gonna have to really you're gonna have to go out on a whim this week. Why? Because the clarity that will happen this week is it's not just clarity in the sense of like, oh, we know the truth. It's clarity, and then it also comes with where it's now set in stone. So, like, have you ever had a situation happen or whatever, and then, the truth comes out, and now it's like, it's now the big picture is now there, that there was jealousy, that there was, there was personal vendetta, like, now that part of it. So it's not just, oh, okay, we plead your case, you're now, you're good, or there's not just this clarity, or there's not this truth. This truth is now met with something set in stone about the individual, about the circumstance, about the company, about the person. Seriously. And so many people don't understand that, because they're constantly fighting and trying to project an emotion that was put in them. They met their mirror for you to grow. You met your mirror so you could grow. Let me say it again. You met your mirror so you could grow. The collective is having a very hard time understanding that, because it's like, okay, well, how dare another person be the reason that I need to grow? Not every lesson and every bit of growth that we go through, you know what I'm saying, has to come with trauma. The way God is going to yaga a lot of y'all out of situations and yaga y'all out of places, and you are going to feel like it's you. You're going to feel like, damn, like, what did I do? He going to be like, you don't even realize it. You don't even realize what was really going on. This week really gave me God to hear something that he ain't really care for from around you. And I think he's kind of repetitively been hearing this about you around, and just certain circumstances, and hearing people's true intentions. And he's like, are you crazy? When I made this statement last month, when I said people that are the least problematic are the biggest targets. When you don't cause problems, like actual real problems, You are one of the largest targets in a room. And you're probably like, why would I be the largest target? Because you are the most comfortable in the silence. You are the most comfortable in the calmness. You are the most comfortable in your skin. You don't need to be bothering somebody. You don't need to do something with somebody. You don't need to involve yourself with something. You are the most problematic person because there is no way to bond with you. There's no way to bond with you. There's no way for people to, not feel like they can't fill a void with you. If you look what's going on in the collective right now, one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is that most people are their projections, their anger, their aggravation, their irritation, their spirit being annoyed, the devil sitting there using them as a host, is because they can't fill their void with you. So when someone can't fill their void with you, they become very revengeful. They now want to cause problems. They now want to make this a statement because see, if they do something to affect you, now they get a reaction out of you. But the way God is about to pick you up by your shirt and be like, yeah, you thought. Yeah, you thought. This week you're going to have to go out on a whim. You're going to have to go out on a whim. Seriously. You're going to have to go out on a whim. And you're probably like, well, like, what is the whim? You will see. You'll see. Because, I always say this, and I'm a firm believer of this. I am a firm believer of this. If you've been going day to day with no problem, and then all of a sudden all these random problems to come, and you can't think of it as someone that is self-aware, I'm telling you now, when the truth comes out, it won't be on you. So the second thing that I got was the fact of that the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords, Six of Cups fell on top of both. The Six of Cups didn't fully go into reverse of the past because of the fact of the wheel is turning. This is the week where the actual wheel turns. Mars is in Scorpio. That just went into Scorpio today. It was in Libra. We all saw what was happening when Mars was in Libra. What were people doing? They were fighting for us, the people, right? The people. Now that Mars is in Scorpio, people have very personal vendettas against you because of the lack of power they feel because of you. This is power struggle, people. This is power struggle dynamics. This is exactly why God will yank you up, because of the fact of we don't need to play whose dick is bigger. We don't. This week, people want to play that game. They want to play the game of, well, who's more powerful? Who can throw their weight around? Who's more important? Whose dick is bigger? Bitch, what are you talking about? Like, that has been the question of the week for me, and it's only Monday. What are you talking about? When somebody just saying a whole bunch of fucking nothing, you be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then it's like they can't even bring up what they're really talking about, because once they get to the root of it is a projection. People gonna be like, oh, there was a miscommunication, no, any miscommunication, missed opportunities all come from a contradiction. People are contradicting themselves. And my thing is, you're not contradicting yourself based off of somebody else belittling your beliefs or belittling you as a person. You are belittling yourself. This whole Virgo season was all about self-reflection, all about you getting over the parts of you that had to be perfect. Do you guys know how many people were suffering from trying to have a perfect personality that they were trying to basically mock and reprogram and kind of figure it out? It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. This week, I have to say, I'm not too impressed. I'm very unimpressed of how people have been maneuvering through life lately, especially during Virgo season. Virgo season was not a hard season. You took it hard because you don't want to face yourself. It was simple. Face yourself, learn the lesson, get the wisdom, be honest, keep it pushing. It makes me think of that TikTok that was like, get the money, don't forget to get the money. When you get the money, bitch, bring me the money. Thank you. Literally. Get the money. Don't forget to get the money. When you get the money, bitch, bring me the money. That's all it was. Get the information. Don't forget the information. When you get the information, please bring me the information. That's all Virgo season was. So when you got all this information, instead of you prying, because that's another thing that people do when they can't fill a void with you, they pry. Thank you. Hey, boo. They pry. People are prying into situations because of the fact of they can't disclose the truth of the matter. I'm over it. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to realize it. And one thing I can't do, I can't accept it. And one thing I'm realizing is that once I accept that I don't need to people please, because that's why I told y'all what was going to happen. Once we got into Libra season, y'all were going to see people's people pleasing skills. It was like coming out of their pores. Like they just wanted to make sure that they could please someone. And most people pleasers are actually one of the most manipulative people. They are the most manipulative people. And they are the most entitled people. Why are they so entitled? Because they have a dire need to put other people first, they normally subconsciously want you to do the same. So their manipulation tactics come through their actions towards you, right? Because they want to feel accepted by you. This week you gotta go on a whim. You gotta go on a whim. You gotta go on a whim. I think one of the most beautiful things that we've seen is Stunna for Leo's wedding. And I want to give you guys a little backstory of the energy of why this wedding was it was so important, but it was very, 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 like, there was a lot of detail in it. And the detail wasn't necessarily like, oh, they're young. No, it was symbolism. So Mona Leo is a Taurus, right? She's a Taurus. She's ruled by Venus. I remember I had did a live probably 2 years ago in Scorpio season, and it was about Taurus, and it was about how Taurus didn't see themselves as being worthy. Now, her wedding was a direct reflection of how we are as women and men right now. Her whole wedding was in pink. Pink is a color that women wear once they feel like they're going towards healing. Even if that was their favorite color as a kid, they might have drifted off, they come back, whatever. The favorite color is pink, okay? Women gravitate towards pink when they start to learn a lot more femininity. I see it in myself, and I'm telling you, it's the truth. Pink might not be their favorite color, but it's something that they gravitate to out of healing. When this wedding happened and you guys got to see the vulnerability in a man, it lets you guys know that we are on the upbringing of emotional maturity. One thing that this season will tell you is that you guys are emotionally irrational and immature. These two big emotional discrepancies are causing us to have a big conundrum because of the fact of more people are seeing their emotional irrational behavior and their emotional immaturity as a shield to not be vulnerable. The shield from not being vulnerable is out of their own insecurities of not being accepted. These things have nothing to do with an individual that they're dealing with, because of the fact of most people that are in these two boxes are not opening up to the wisdom and the awareness and accountability that needs to be taken. They are currently in situations where that other person is in a very reciprocal matter. They're comfortable in their skin, they're comfortable in their heart space, they're comfortable. That is alarming to someone that is in those two emotional discrepancies. Because that is alarming to someone with those two emotional discrepancies, people with those discrepancies will do anything because of the fact that they are fighting the strength of love. If you are in a place of self-awareness, you're in a place of self-love. When you pour into yourself, you're in a place of self-love. What do people pleasers not do the most? Pour into themselves. People pleasers, they won't do it. They will either manipulate you into pouring into them that fills up their cup enough for them to feel like they've been validated, or they just continue to deplete themselves of all their resources and all their love and all their actions because of the fact of they want you to feel some type of guilt towards them because they don't have enough confidence in themselves. Okay? Are we, hello? Okay? They pour out until you feel guilty because they don't have enough confidence to pour into themselves. You're going to have to go out on a whim. Companies don't pour into themselves. Friendships don't pour into themselves. Relationships don't pour into themselves. Creative ideas don't pour into themselves. This is not just a one-on-one individualism. This is literally what I'm telling you. It is something that is happening at a worldwide level. We're having a discrepancy when it comes to not playing the victim in people pleasing. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Going out on a whim this week, there's going to be an act of integrity. There's going to be a breakthrough. But it's going to be an act of integrity. Because people going to want you to cry. They're gonna want to see a little bit of anger. They're going to want to see some type of way that there's a puppet string that God is literally going like this week. And as soon as God does a snip, 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 it's going to change the trajectory of the whole thing. They won't be able to do anything but respect it. Respect it. You know, one thing that I learned, and this is someone that has gone through I've gone through people pleasing, I've gone through being a user, I've been a manipulator. I've been through all of it. One thing about me, two things for sure, I ain't never got to lie about the life I lived. Hello? Okay? Hello? Never got to lie about the life I lived. One thing that I've learned over the course of, I'd say the last like 5 years, one thing that I've learned in the course of the 5 years is that a people pleaser's biggest kryptonite, like something that makes them real weak, is someone that unconditionally loves themselves. When someone unconditionally loves themselves, when they try to put that puppet master strings clip, so many people think that a people pleaser's biggest enemy is a narcissist. That is not true. A narcissist is also a people pleaser in other ways. That people, their biggest enemy, their kryptonite, the thing that makes them weak, is someone that unconditionally loves themselves. They love themselves through every single condition, every single season, every single win, which way but lose. They love themselves. This week, you will be tested on how much can you unconditionally love yourself. There's only one other person in this world that actually unconditionally loves you, and I'm not talking about anybody that is actually human. I told everybody in the video last week when we were talking that the only person that's actually going to unconditionally love a man is their mom. But there's actually only one person or entity or spirit or whatever that you believe in, you know what I'm saying? You know, that actually that loves you unconditionally, that shows you unconditional love. And that's whoever you believe in, God, Buddha, whoever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and tell you who you need to believe in, you know what I'm saying? That's not my thing. But what I'm telling you is that is the only person that shows you unconditional love. So when he protects you from certain things, when he lets you know certain things, when he levels you up, when he pushes you through, when he keeps you safe, one thing that I'm seeing is the fact of that this doesn't come with any conditions. This week, you will be able to see his love through his no conditions. Okay? That's why you're going to have to go out on a whim. You're going to have to go out. What is that? Hold on. Y'all know me. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Y'all don't worry about the mess behind me. Y'all know I'm decorating my closet. It's the happy birthday, baby girl, for me. Like, whose birthday? What the hell you talking about? Going on a whim for y'all. So the definition of what does going on a whim means doing something based on a sudden unplanned desire or impulse without serious thought or planning about the consequences. It describes an action taken because of a spontaneous wish, idea, or fancy rather than carefully considering the decision. They're going out on a whim for you. Okay? If you've been paying attention to certain things that have been happening around you, you'll be right on point. There's been so many confirmations and reassurances last week, or I'm not gonna say last week, the last few days, that the upcoming days, you won't even have to worry about it. When things play out the way that they do, they just be like, oh, okay. Because the next card that I got was the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Moon. The Moon fell on the Pentacle. The offer that is being presented of either emotional stability, financial stability, real stability, is basically come from you picking the option of unlimited resources. It's coming from you picking from an unconditional place. So so if you look at the Two of Wands, basically, there's a man, he has a world in his hand, and then he has a stick in the other hand, right? In the left hand, there's the world. You picking the world is you basically saying, like, you know what, I'm gonna go out on a whim. Okay, I'm gonna let this be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna let this be whatever it is. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna honor it. I'm going to accept it, and I'm not gonna fight back. I think so many people don't understand that there is no need to fight in this energy because of the fact of there is uncertainty. The uncertainty, it don't even got nothing to do with you. Okay? I'm getting to a point where love is getting overrated or overindulged. That's because you don't have enough love in yourself, Pookie. Love is universal. I love that for us. Hello, ma'am. Are you a follower of Jesus? I'm telling you. When the people come to your door and be like, are you prepared for Jehovah's Witnesses' return? Child, I'd be scared. Because what the hell? So the last one was the world, the Nine of Wands, and the Chariot. I think one of the biggest things is the fact of that being in victim mentality is a direct reflection of you trying to be a perfectionist in certain things that don't make sense. So when you are in victim mentality about a desire, about a manifestation, I just want you to know that's coming from a place where you are trying to seek conditions. You want there to be conditions on the manifestations. You want there to be conditions on the conversations. You want there to be conditions. There's no such things as term and conditions during this time. Why? Libra season is about multiple people. There aren't any terms and conditions that have to do with anything that you want. You get what I'm trying to say? So when I say there's no terms and conditions, meaning that there is no back and forth, there is no agreement, it's literally what it is. You don't have to abide by this to abide by that. You know what I mean? So it's like, make sure you pay attention to that. Thank you so much. I don't speak about politics because politics are bullshit, okay? Those are all a lie. They're finessing us and they finessing these countries. And you know what? Actually, let me speak on this a little bit. I don't have no direct like thoughts on the country. But here's one of the things that I do feel, okay? I feel that it's much easier for them to target the Middle East because the Middle East they'd have to admit that the Middle East is a threat. They have the ego for it. They might not have all the money for it, but they got the ego for it. And one thing about it is confidence and ego can drive a war. When you look at it, confidence and ego can drive a war. Okay? I don't speak politics. I'm just saying based off of the wisdom that I feel, they pick with that country, I mean, like the Middle East, they pick with them the hardest because of the fact of they are literally like, when they say, oh, you got balls, that the Middle East has balls. They got the confidence and they got the drive. They don't give a fuck. You might have 12 tanks, they might have 2. But with them two tanks, they're gonna do exactly what they gotta do. And the thing about it is, when you got heart, this is what, and I think this probably goes in with the message, because the Middle East, they can be problematic, but I think that there are times where they try to seek to not be the problem. And I think because there are certain countries and there are certain people that are in their government that are non-problematic, that's what makes the other people in those countries and those governments and those groups become very problematic. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying, you ain't standing on business enough. It's like when big homies and little OGs, you know, like little homies, they start to go at it, because the little OGs feel like the big homies is like soft. They feel like they letting people disrespect them. Oh, they not gonna disrespect me. They not gonna do this the whole time. The big homie, like, it ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like where they gotta grow. They gotta understand, like, they, you know what I'm saying, you got heart. You don't never let nobody, you know, step on your toes. But at the same time, certain battles you gotta learn, like, you gotta learn to play long run for respect. And one of the things that I see from our country to the Middle East is the fact of that we have that same comparison. We have people in our country that are very wise, and they saying, like, you know what I'm saying, we don't got to handle it like this. Like, we could do things differently. But we have people in our government that's like, no, they don't respect us enough. Blow that shit up. They going to respect it when we blow that shit up. They going to respect us when, you know what I'm saying, we offend the kids, we offend the women, we offend the old people. Like, there's a battle of the ego between the countries. You see what I'm saying? So they will always pick at each other because of the fact of they see there's a mirror between both countries or continents, whatever. There's a mirror. They see their reflection. That's why they always going back and forth. Always going back and forth with them motherfuckers. It's like, damn, y'all leave them alone. And it's because if they can't come together as a team to say, let's piggyback off this wisdom and maybe let's see where we can work together, they'll always be, it's like gang members, literally. The gang members could come together and actually, you know what I'm saying, take over the hood, and for it to be such a beautiful process. Like, but there's too many people of ego. I'm blood. I'm set this. That's my set, and I'm crip this, and it's six this, and it's an everlasting cycle. And I think that also corresponds with what's going on this week, is the fact that so many people have this like do or die attitude towards their trauma, and you know it gets to a point where you're literally fighting yourself through other people. And my thing is, you're fighting yourself, you're losing the war, and you want people to go down with you. That's one of my biggest, like, I think that's what's really kind of mind-boggling to me. You know, as we go through the years, and as we go through the months and the days and the weeks, it's mind-boggling to me is that the fact of that so many people are forcing themselves to be within a community that they don't realize that the individuals in the community are literally fighting themselves, and they're losing a war that they want to bring everybody down with them. And that's the problem that we're having. That's why marriages have to crash the way they have to crash. That's why businesses have to crash the way they have to crash. That's why the whole gender of men and women have to crash the way that they crash, because of the fact of the war is not being won. As much as it was so beautiful for us to see and to utilize, you know, Stunna and Mona Leo as an example for marriage, y'all got to understand that's still a war that people are fighting against themselves. They can literally see what's on the other side of war. They can see the peace treaty. They can see the benefits of avoiding the war. They can see the benefits of what a war could come out to be once we both put the white flag up, but that's not something that's happening. People are saying, there's a war, I got my gear, I got my guns, I'ma whop this shit. So this week really says, like, you're gonna have to go out on a whim. And I think what's gonna be more nerve-wracking is the fact of that you're going to make the decisions, or you're going to either make the decision or you're going to be at peace with the decision that has been made for you. Because it's just an obstacle. So many obstacles are literally just being like, oh, dude. It's like, and there will be a relief feeling. You know, I keep saying this over and over and over again for the last couple of days. I just been like very hyper emotional about it, and I don't want to say highly hyper, where it's just like I had this big rage of like, just leave me alone. So many people are in this energy to where they have so many questions, and their questions are not coming from true curiosity. Their questions are coming from well, why didn't this happen when I was around? Well, why wasn't this going this way when I was around? They're comparing where you are now as an individual to where you were when you were around them, and there's a discrepancy. Something doesn't add up. To them, the math doesn't math. Where was this spunk? Where was this ambition? Where was this confidence? Where was this beauty? Where was this, where was this attractiveness? Where was this wisdom? People are questioning why this version of you wasn't something that was when they were around. Why didn't you get to show them this? Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think most people don't understand the reason why we can't show you certain things, or the reason why God didn't unlock those things while, you know what I'm saying? Like, why God didn't unlock those things, you know what I'm saying, while you were around, is because of the fact of you don't know how to cherish it. You see it as a threat. You don't see it as a gift. You don't see it as something to cherish. You don't see it as something to respect. You see it as something that creates a threat. You see it as something that creates, you know what I'm saying, like I told y'all, people don't know what love feel like. They don't know what love feel like. They don't know what love feel like. So whole time, you know what I'm saying, you around them, you being authentic, you being loving, you being this, you being that, you cause them anxiety. You cause them anxiety. So you causing them anxiety, their heart starting to act funny, now they getting paranoid. So now that they're getting paranoid, the first thing that they do is say, I got to get away from them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't fault people for fighting what true love feels like, but what I am going to fault you for is the fact of that you continue to fight this until you get down to your last knuckles. Like, I mean, I respect you because, like I said, you got heart. You ain't letting nothing, you know what I'm saying? You ain't letting nothing punk you. But it gets to a certain point where you realizing, like, I'm fighting against air. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fighting against something that's not even fighting back, And I think one thing that I really can see happening this week is that a lot of people want to put their fist down, but they don't realize how much damage that they've done. So many people, it's like they did things out of spite, and they didn't realize. Like, I just see a lot of spiteful shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this week there's a lot of spiteful shit. And I think, when somebody does something out of spite to hurt you, and then they realize like they didn't want it to go that way. Like, oh my God, I didn't want it to go that way. Like, I didn't think that was gonna happen. Like, I wasn't trying to do all that. Right, but you did, and that's what you get. Ooh. Ooh. You did, and that's what you get. So many people are suffering. I don't even want to be one, saying like somebody to really just sit here and just try to tell people and encourage them. I'm not encouraging shit. You gonna have to toughen up and learn these lessons and get over that shit. It was sink or swim, baby. I don't know why you just kept trying to dunk yourself in there. How can a nation of people fight against pride and envy love themselves? They don't want to love themselves. You're not Rosa Parks. Take them reading glasses off. Reading glasses? Bitch, if only you knew how blind I was. Are you a Christian? No, I don't identify as any religion. But as you see, I talk about God, I talk about the Bible, I talk about the disciples. I don't play around with the Lord. So I think that this is a great week. I think it's a week full of reading glasses is crazy, knowing that a bitch literally be squinting. I think this week is great. I just think that most people don't understand what they going up against. The power dynamic, the power struggle is coming from an emotional turmoil. So it's like this battle that people are having from, individual to individual to who they see as powerful or who can dominate them. It's not coming from a place of actual like negativity. It's actually coming from their love. Like it's actually coming from their admiration of you. It's coming from their like envy, but it's like, I love you. Like I love you so much that it's hurting me, you know? So today, y'all know there was a couple of things that happened in the astrological skies. Mars enters Scorpio. So the fact that Mars enters Scorpio is that, and this is where a lot of power moves are about to happen. They start this week. Power moves happen. Breakthroughs happen. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, and what's crazy is, what's so funny is the fact that things find you. Okay, things will find you this week. Information will find you. People will find you. Don't think that people can't find you or get in contact with you about anything, a job, opportunity. Don't think that people can't get in contact with you, because they can. I think so many times we think that we're living our life that, that nothing can be, like, oh, well, I've changed my number like 8 times, nobody would know, or I changed my address. Trust me, if the Lord is in charge, there will always be a way. People will find you. Have you ever been having a conversation with someone and they bring up someone from your past and they're like, oh yeah, I seen so and so the other day, they was on a corner out there smoking crack. You didn't go looking for that information. That information found the fuck out of you. You see what I'm saying? So it will find you. The information this week, oh baby, it will find you. Like you ain't seen that ex or you ain't seen that homegirl in 7 years. You haven't seen them since high school. And you having a conversation with somebody, you're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, how's life been? It's been great, you know what I'm saying? And then, y'all talking about kids, y'all talking about marriage, y'all talking about all these new things and updates. And they'd be like, oh girl, you know what I meant to tell you? Oh, bruh, you remember that girl? What was her name? Peaches, right? You remember Peaches, right? You remember Peaches? Man, I seen Peaches the other day. She was on crack. Peaches was the girl that used to bully you and try to pimp you out and fight you and steal from you and everything. And you see how you found out about that shit? You know what I'm saying? That's how the energy's gonna go. It's gonna go based. You gonna be like, you gonna feel like information has tracked you down. Like you gonna feel like somebody has literally stalked you. No, it's just like, it's just this weird thing that God do when he put you on somebody's spirit to call, or he put your name in a room and people now want to know, well, who you talking about? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody said your name before and all of a sudden nobody's really listening. Then, they going through paper and they said, hey, you brought up somebody last week, and we didn't really get to touch base on it. Can you give me a little bit more information? Or, hey, we do like that's kind of how it go. It goes like that. So don't ever think that information ain't gonna find your ass. Okay? Don't ever think that. Don't ever think that they never gonna let you know something. Please, just know it's gonna find you. And the best part about it is keep your head up, keep your chin up. Okay? Chin up, chest out. Don't fold. Don't fold. Don't go around talking about, oh, that's what they get and all this stuff. I'm telling you, the world is going through a deep, dire need of a level up in their consciousness. And the level up is basically been taken from them. People's versions of themselves have been deleted from them. And that's why people are spiraling right now. They're not spiraling because of the fact that they don't know, what's going on. They are spiraling because of the fact that something within them was removed without their consent. It was like, baby, you don't need that no more. You don't need that energy of racism. You don't need that energy of this. You don't need that insecurity. It was lifted out of people. And this is why people are acting so so spastic. They're spiraling. They're having an issue. They're control issues. They're doing too much. They're just because of the fact of something that was unnecessary was removed from them. And when things are removed from people, without them actually acknowledging it, without them actually, being aware of it or them actually accepting it, they spiral, they project, they have attitudes, they are angry, they're miserable. That's why, do y'all see was that Miss US, no, was that Miss Universe pageant? Where the girl lost and they all were around her. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told y'all that once it's now set in stone, it will go down in history that she lost the pageant. And instead of her being a good sportsmanship, instead of her exercising good sportsmanship, instead of her being a great candidate, a great opponent, you know what she does? She goes and she creates this old miserable ass story where the other minions and other people that wanted to follow stood around her ass looking a fucking mess while the Miss Universe is over there with her crown, with her sachet, and with her trophy. While the other two women that have very high integrity are looking like, what are y'all doing consulting someone over there? Once again, the girl that lost, people pleaser. What did she use? Manipulation. Her manipulation came from her trying to make everybody else feel guilty that she didn't win. So they all poured into her. So now I want y'all to think about this. They now see her as a poor opponent, right? Then they will also notice the other women that decided to fall in line as a fucking sheep and as a dickhead dumbass. And now that also affects their character. This week, for some reason, has a big emphasis on character. And I think that more people are trying to tarnish other people's character out of their need of acceptance. It's not even necessarily being accepted by you. They want to be accepted by your energy, your confidence, your light, your wittiness, your charisma. You know what I'm saying? Your spunk. That's what people want to be accepted by. When people's life changes, one thing that I noticed is that even if you might not have when your life changes and when you're leveling up and you're pouring into yourself, you trigger people without you even being aware what happened. You could be walking in the store one day and someone go home and they literally just be like, that bitch, she walked past me like she thought she was all that. You talking about the lady that just went to go grab some broccoli? What are you talking about? She literally was going to go grab some broccoli. No, she walked past me trying to make it seem like she was better than me for going to get the broccoli. Huh, interesting. Well, did you have any like direct encounter with the woman? Well, no. Well, did she like hit you, or like did you guys like have a physical like, altercation? No. So how did you come up with the conclusion that she thought she was better than you because she had a little pep in her step to get her broccoli? Well, it's not that serious for anybody to just be walking around like this with all the like, oh, truth comes out, you're envious, you admire her, you fucking love her. Oh, okay. But they won't admit that. You got to actually ask them questions. One thing that I'm gonna put y'all up on game about this week and the rest of Libra season, you're gonna have to ask people questions. Yeah. They're not gonna come out right and say it. When they bring something to you, the person's gonna sound like the villain. When they tell you about the friend, they tell you about the ex, people that have healed and they can take accountability have nothing negative to say about anybody else that they've encountered. I don't have anything negative to say about a friend, about an ex, about nothing. First of all, I don't give a fuck. Okay, that's for first and foremost. And secondly, at the end of the day, I would never deny that I actually cared for you at one point and that I loved you. So to talk bad about you would only basically reflect of how much I still miss you and love you and admire the qualities that I didn't appreciate about you. So I'm not trying to hear it, okay? I'm not trying to hear it this week. You gonna have to really listen. One thing that I noticed about, Libras and their energy is the fact that Libras don't listen. They only listen enough to create a list. So they split the list into two. They do a T chart. And one thing that I notice about Libras in their mind that they do a T chart. They write down a couple qualities about you that they like off face value with their eyes. And then the bad things that they might write those things about something that they've observed, but they never actually correspond that actually makes sense. Their observations are only through a lens of their trauma, and the way they see you is based off of the feelings that they dream of. Libras don't listen. They don't listen. And because they don't listen, that's why they end up trying to people please and weigh out the scales, because of the fact of they miss key parts. The justice card is Libra. Justice, if you know what justice is when it comes to like the court system, in order for justice to be served, and I'm not saying this in the sense of like that's how life works, because we all know some bullshit going on. We all don't hear the same things in cases and evidence and shit like that. But when you think of justice being served, you think of it from a point of view of where all the evidence was received and it was received thoroughly. All the statements were thoroughly written and thoroughly read through. The testimonies thoroughly listened to and read through. That's something that I recognize in the world right now that a lot of people, they don't do. They don't listen. So we're in court and this is a hefty case. And if you go based off the first testimony that you hear, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a little bit biased towards the person or towards the situation. The issue comes when the other person starts talking, because there's always two in it. Libra season, there's always groups. Don't ever think it's just one individual. Anytime a Libra is involved in something, it's multiple people. Anytime a planet is in Libra, it involves multiple people. Here's where the problem happens. And I always tell you guys this every Libra season for the last 3 years. There is a game of telephone. We talked about this in August, and that's when Mars was in Libra. There's a game of telephone that people play in the collective, and if y'all know the game of telephone, basically, if you don't know, I'll explain it to you. A group of people sit in a circle. They go around, one person says, they make up a sentence, they tell the next person, and they tell the next person, they tell the next person. You can't repeat it but one time. Okay? Most people don't have enough comprehension skills to listen and process at the same time. So what happens is they listen and process what they can and make up whatever else that they couldn't process of what they heard. Okay? So what happens down the line when you get back towards, whoever the one has that poor quality of comprehension skills, normally when they say what they said, most people are like, what? If the person after them couldn't comprehend the thought of what they processed or what they thought they heard, what will happen then? They will create another domino effect to make up what they thought they heard, because they couldn't process what they heard from them. So every Libra season, there's always one initial conversation. The initial conversation and what is being presented out of the issues that people are having and the discrepancies from their emotional maturity or their emotional irrational behavior is the fact of that what they heard is not exactly what was said, because of the fact that they didn't have enough comprehension skills to hear and process at the same time. Most people, when they have the time to process, because they can't remember exactly what was said, that means that they definitely cannot fully comprehend the initial issue. So what they do is they draw a conclusion based off what they heard that now goes with the values that they see in the trauma of their ears and their heart. Most people process information out of trauma, not facts. So when the other person comes with the story, if you're talking to someone that also lacks a lot of common sense, wisdom, accountability, just normal comprehension skills, they're highly confused. So now they have additional questions. So I go back to you to say again, the lady that you said thought she was all that in a bag of chips. Did you have a conversation with her? Well, no, I didn't. Well, did she physically touch you or do something in that way? Well, no, she didn't. So explain to me exactly how you drew that conclusion from her going from the apples to the broccoli. Because what is going to come out is the fact that more people are paying more attention to something that they admire and that they want to become and replicate than they actually are paying attention to what's really going on. And what it comes from is the fact that I can't figure out how you're doing it. And because since I can't figure out a how, I'm going to make a how. And when I make a how, it's going to be based off something that satisfies my needs, my emotions, and my insecurities. What a great time we'll be having the next couple weeks. So when the Lord says snip, 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 like I said, now it's going to be permanent on the issue. So I use again the pageant as an example. The Lord says, snip, snip, snip. She won the pageant. She's standing there. She's not crying, looking confused why these bitches aren't consulting her and giving her praise and nothing like that. She's standing there, 10 toes down, all 10 toes, 2 heels, sole of her feet, her knees connected to her thighs and her shins, her shoulders back, her chest up and her chin up, her chest out, chin up. And we all have it on camera that that lady was over there crying, being consoled by 15 other women when she didn't even win. When they took the little video of her and as the winner, she had this nasty mug on her face. Because once again, you cannot explain why you feel the way that you do because you are utilizing the information of that you could not process to satisfy your insecurities. Try again. Biggest lesson of Libra season. You will see it amongst other people. People are going to ask you what happened between you and so. They're going to ask you what happened during this. And your side of the story doesn't make sense to theirs because your side of the story sounds very much so, what are you talking about? That's not what happened. I just see a lot of that, like a lot of people, you know, they heard one story or they're going with this narrative and there's going to be a reality check. Whether you all of a sudden you're acting, and I think it's not solely based off of what you're saying, it's actually also how you act. When you handle things with poise and with grace and everything like that, you do nothing but make your enemy shine worse. I love that. I never let an enemy know that I'm upset. Because my initial thing, because I am so unproblematic and I do have a lot of self-awareness, if you would come to me about your issues, one thing about me is the fact of that I will always validate you to say, you know, that wasn't my intention. Now, will you still be responsible for the emotions that you felt about me? Hell yeah, that ain't got shit to do with me. But when it comes to you saying something that I did and you're going to actually be an adult, you're going to be mature, you're going to be confident enough to come talk to me about it, then I'll be confident enough to tell you those were never my intentions. And that's what kills people. They have created a version of you in their mind out of their own trauma and their own traumatic experiences that they lose out on an opportunity to heal. It starts this week. So many people are missing out on opportunities to heal through people. I keep telling y'all, it's the North Node in Pisces. Your lessons that you're learning, your soul lessons are not just soul lessons through a dream. They're not soul lessons through, you know, your journaling. Your soul lessons are through people. So you have that avoidant attachment. Your healing will be through a person with a secured attachment. You have, you know what I'm saying? You have issues of consistency. You will heal through someone that is very disciplined, very consistent. You will now see who your worst enemy is, and it ain't never been somebody that is beneath you. It's never been somebody that don't rump with you, that can't compete where they don't compare. Your biggest enemy was you. So people not understanding that you're healing through people. And they keep trying to make this situation like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, this is a horrible cycle. I don't want to be on this cycle anymore. I don't want to be on this cycle anymore. I don't want to be on this cycle anymore. Okay, become aware, take accountability, utilize the wisdom. It's so simple. It's crazy. Everything right now is so simple because so many people think that they are learning certain things outside of themselves. That is a problem, okay? An individual came into your life to basically wake your ass up and give you a little bit of love. It ain't even tough love that's happening right now. People literally are just saying, I don't want you. I don't want your help. I don't want your love. I don't want your generosity. I don't want your understanding. I don't want you to see me as a person. You should be treating me like the scum on shoe because that's how I feel. That's how people are walking around. I don't want to be treated like a decent human being. That's basically what the world is telling each other. I don't want to be treated like a decent human being. So therefore, because you're acting in a way that's so delicate, it's just so motivational. I'm so inspired. I don't want to be treated like a human being. Hey y'all, simple, not easy. It's actually very easy. It's so easy right now. You can't grow if you're stuck in the same mindset. It's actually very easy. Change camera angle, queen. Why would I do that? Jump up and down. Get the fuck out. Mwah. Later. Hi hair. Hi boo. It's very simple. Oh my gosh. It's all easy. It's very easy. You know why y'all don't want it to be easy? Because of the fact of y'all want to be so P. Y'all want to be so player. Y'all want to be so, oh, I can't let a motherfucker see me sweat. I can't let somebody see me like this. I can't let them, you know, the last time I did this, they broke my heart. That's because you decided to stay down bad on it. That's because, you know what I'm saying? That's because you decided to stay down bad on it. That's because you kept trying to reminisce about it. You keep reminiscing about things that don't make sense. If it was easy, the world wouldn't be the way it is. Yeah, I need you to take that red dot and go all the way up front. And I need you to listen to this, okay? I need you to listen, all right? Thank you. You're a simple player. T. Chris, I'm about to show you how simplicity works. Toodles. I be telling y'all, y'all be trying to, y'all be coming to troll the wrong person. I play no games. I can't let someone hear me thank the bus driver. I don't know. You gotta go. Some weird shit going on. Thank you. It's so simple, y'all. I promise y'all. This week I realized that I have a lot of control issues about things that's not necessary. The chip's gonna fall, however, the chip's gonna fall. So I don't even know why I be trying to control the shit. What the hell? What's simple? I missed it. You gotta go back. You gotta go back. You gotta go back. I've been on like an hour. But when I post this, just go listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It'll help you. One thing about it, two things for sure. You will always be assisted on this page. You will always be assisted. People like to play games. They like to pry. I don't have time for that. This week, I'm not going back and forth with you. If this how it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? One thing I want to tell y'all that, do you know what's the indicator of all this energy that we talked about the last hour? You see what I'm saying? You know what's the indicator of all this shit that's about what's going on? If things too difficult. If it's causing too many problems, you know what I'm saying? If it's too difficult, I ain't finna. All right, you got it. If it seemed like I gotta plead my case, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. If it seemed like I gotta go too hard, I'm not doing that. You got it. Whatever you see is best. Whatever works for you. That's something I've been telling people lately, because a lot of people, they don't realize how controlling they are. Like, they don't realize how spastic their energy is. They don't realize it. You see what I'm saying? And so this week, I'm gonna start to tell people, like, whatever works best for you. I no longer want to be in the driver's seat of this. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be in the driver's seat because of the fact of we already driving and the GPS keep rerouting us back to the same route, and you keep going the wrong way. Like, now you just want to go the opposite way. You know, you ever turn the GPS on for somebody and they be like, oh, I know a better way. It's like, well, the GPS, you know what I'm saying? They say it's traffic. I think it's just best if we go, you know, this way. It'll take us only like 15 minutes. Nah, I got a better way. I got a shortcut. Okay, babe. Why have we been in the car for 40 minutes? Like, I hate that. That's how I feel. That's literally how I feel this week. Like, you know what? All right. And you know, when you tell somebody, you be like, nah, like, I think the GPS, and they steady want to argue. They steady want to argue. They steady want to argue about the route. And you know what you do? You sit back. Then y'all get there, y'all 40 minutes late. Now they looking at you like, well, damn. Well, you know, normally I take that route, man, and it's never no traffic. Why didn't you just listen? Once again, people aren't listening. They aren't listening. And I don't have time for that. You know what? I'm not going for that. And I realize that a lot of people can only hear at their mental capacity. A lot of people don't have the mental capacity to be able to truly hear the truth, because of the fact that they still want to play this game of people pleasing. And one thing I can't deal with a people pleaser out of coddling people's insecurities. They're like, oh yeah, but there could have been a different way you could have said that. And it's like, what do you mean? I said exactly what it was. There wasn't, you basically wanted me to pacify them based off a trauma or a insecurity I had no clue about. We're having this discrepancy and I have no clue about. So what are you talking about? Like, they never said anything to me. I don't know what you're talking about. That was never addressed. Like, there will be a big like childish energy of like people wanting to be coddled as children. I'm not your mom, and I don't have any kids. And see, because Libra is that Empress energy, Venus energy, the mother. I'm not your mom. I'm not your mom. That's what y'all gonna see this week. I need y'all to do me a huge favor. I know y'all gonna probably like fight me against this, but stop calling me queen. Hold on, I'm about to put y'all out. Hold on 1 second. I'm finna make y'all go home. Hold on, I'm finna start blocking y'all 1 second. Cause y'all finna make y'all go home. Okay. Anywho. Finna make y'all go home. You do have mom energy though. That's beautiful. Yeah, but I don't have no kids. Grown people are intimidated by things that I had to work on. That's what's really bothering me, y'all. This is what's bothering me about this week. People are intimidated about the things that I had to work on to become this version of myself. Okay? You're intimidated and you're bothered by things that I had to work on. I had to see this through. I had to love on myself. I don't want to hear it. People are jealous and they're intimidated by healing. You are the sun. You illuminate. You're going to illuminate that. A lot of people are wishy-washy. You are jealous of something that I can't control because these are the things that I had to heal of myself to become this version of myself. So no, I'm not going to apologize for it because of the fact that I don't have no ill will in my body. I don't have no ill will in my heart. You took my kindness in the sense of a threat. That don't got shit to do with me. It ain't my fault you used to people talking shit, treating you like shit, when in reality, I just want to treat you like a human being. Or we just had a human interaction. And I think so many people don't know what it feels like to feel love that they confuse it with being triggered. And when people are triggered, they spiral. And when people spiral out of their triggers, it's because of the fact of you're doing something that they could deem as they can deem it as like, detrimental to them. The whole time it ain't nothing but peace. You ever seen somebody that just, they be so, I want peace, that they just create chaos? Yeah, no, I'm not going for that. They just want to see what's your trigger when they see you on their pedestal that you built. Absolutely. I'm finna make you go home. Anywho. Hey, boo. I'm just letting y'all know the energy. Ha! Somebody says, does Erica look like a $2 hoe to you? Hello. I don't know what they be having going on. But you know what? I know this gonna sound crazy, but it used to be a point in time where I used to be like, I want to be on live and just getting paid on live. So like the fact that people sending me super chats, that shit's so crazy because you know what? Yeah, hell yeah. Like hell yeah. I'm grateful. Run that shit up though. But I am so grateful. I am so grateful, y'all. Like y'all don't understand. This week I could already feel like the last 2 weeks. I tell y'all, I'll say the last 2 weeks, bro. When I say, I know the last 2 months. Okay, the last 2 months, God has really been showing me like I need you to push through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to push through. Like, I need you to push through. I'm going to push you back, and I need you to push me. I need you to push through. I'm going to push back. I need you to push through. And I'm going to push you back again. I need you to push through. So many times when we going through certain things, we automatically assume it's the devil. I would have to say over the last 4 years of my glow up, the devil only fucked with me for one. The devil only fucked with me for one. Like, literally, the devil only fucked with me for one. I'm screaming. Hold on. They do. People give the devil too much credit. I'd be like, oh, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I just know God, he been pushing me. And I've been like literally crying. I've been crying. And I keep telling God, tell them leave me alone. Tell him just leave me alone. Just tell him leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And he'd be like, just you got it. Just hold on. Because I've been showing so much grace. I've been showing so much patience. I've been showing so much vulnerability. And I just been pushing through and transmuting like a motherfucker. Like when I tell y'all transmutation has literally been my thing for the last 2 months. A bitch has been transmuting. Like I'm like, whatever hit come at me, boom, I be sending it, boom, boom, boom. I don't even send it back. I just take it all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just take it all and flip it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally just take all day energy and I just be flipping it and I be flipping it. So when people be like, oh, the devil working, I just feel like that be God allowing the hits to hit. It be his way of like showing like you have the strength of a warrior in you. You know what I mean? And I'm going to let this hit you because I wouldn't let nothing touch you that you can't handle. And honestly, a lot of mine is mental. So if it's mental, that means it reflects in my reality. And so one of the things that I've been like fighting this week is the fact of that, like when my mental on some other shit, I transmute it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just boom, you know, I flip it, boom. Like, nah, we can't do that. Nah, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like the first thing I want to do is fly off like, bro, what the fuck going on? Like, no, I'm not going for none of this. And then I just realized like, you know what? A wise person holds their tongue. A wise person gives their troubles to God and let God take care of it. God, you know, one of the Bible verses that I think I placed on my Pinterest board. That's why I say you put a Bible verse on your monthly Pinterest board, baby. When I tell you, you better be ready for God to show you exactly, you know what I'm saying, that type of energy. And I just feel like he just been opening the little gate and they just been coming, hitting me. And I just be like, leave me alone, leave me alone. I'm doing something, I'm focusing. And I just, it always makes me understand that when you are the least problematic person, it's because you are A, confident in who you are, and B, you don't feel the need to go outside yourself. People don't like that shit. You could literally, you know, it makes me think of like how we be attracted to like the quiet, mysterious one because curiosity has killed the cat. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when I feel this energy, I'm just like, y'all going so hard to go against a bitch that really don't fucking care. Like, I just treated you like a normal person. If there was any type of miscommunication, I promise you there's a contradiction. And the contradiction normally is going to be based off of your own personal emotions that you tried to turn into a fact. That wasn't a fact. That wasn't the truth. That's not what happened. And if you would have just been, you know, adult enough to come to me, because one thing I never understood about us as adults, we're in 2025, we still lack the ability to be confrontational because we see confrontation with hostility. To confront something is to bring it to an attention. It doesn't necessarily mean to be confrontational. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you need to be out here fighting or people going to come and, be aggressive. To be confrontational is to be somebody that confronts something. You see what I'm saying? Like, literally. So many people see confrontation is oh, there's going to be hostilities. There's going to be arguments. That's why there's so many people that are so indecisive about making decisions or about speaking on something. It doesn't have to be. Usually, if anybody confronts me in a hostile way, I already know they already had ill intents in the beginning. People that are not everybody is confrontational or is hostile. They just understand and can respect to confront the issue, to bring it to attention. If anybody confronts somebody in a hostile way, they already had a negative motive towards that person. Because confrontation does never have to be negative. One of the Bible verses that I put on for this month, I put no, not Detra. I'm tripping. No. Where's the Bible verse? Oh, here we go. No, that's not the Bible verse. With God, I lack nothing. Psalms 23:1. Amen. A lot of people like to be covert too. What's the definition of covert? Not openly acknowledged or displayed. That's manipulation. That's manipulation. With what? So, I'm just saying, that's our vibes. So that's for this week. Oh, shit. We didn't even go through all the astrological stuff. Okay. Come on, y'all, because we've already been on here an hour. And see, that's the problem that we're having right now. That's the problem that we're having right now. For the next, I think I told me and my homegirl talking about this. For the next 2 years, the next 2 to 3 years, everybody needs to put their sword down. Everybody needs to give up their, I don't want to say give up their right, but everybody needs to give up their urge to speak. The collective needs to shut the fuck up. We talk too much. They talk too much. They saying a whole bunch of fucking nothing. You ask people 3 simple questions about something, they don't know what the hell going on. That you ask them 3 questions about their opinion, I don't have to explain myself. No, you don't. But if you're trying to portray an opinion as a fact, I need you to at least have a very strong thesis. Okay? I need you to have a very strong thesis. People don't have that. That's why when I be on live and I be like, telling people wisdom and people be trying to have pushback, I'm not bothered. I'll tell you the facts to go with it. Now, if you choose to actually listen, that's up to you. Oh, shit. Bria said, neither do you. You knew? Baby, I got receipts. 4 years deep. What you talking about? With social media, everybody got a voice and don't know nothing, but they gonna tell you they don't know. They're not gonna tell you they're not gonna make some bullshit. I told you. Shit don't even make sense. Okay. Quickly. All right, let's go. That was one of the most corniest dad jokes, but that was so cute. Okay, so we are officially in Libra season, as you guys know. Sun in Libra opposites Neptune and Aries. Oh, hang up on you. What the fuck going on? Bitch came on live one time looking good and all the weirdos came out. I'm telling you, YouTube has all the weirdos. Literally, like, it has all the cool people, but it is a lot of y'all weirdos. Sun and Libra opposites Neptune and Aries. Learning to say no will benefit you today, as this sneaky aspect can bring out energy vampires and shady characters. Don't let people take advantage of your generous nature and walk away. What I say, people pleasing. You didn't like the fact that I treat you like a normal human being. Okay, here we go. Also on the same day, the Sun in Libra trines Uranus and Gemini. This experimental aspect can lead to unexpected yet positive changes in our lives today. It's a great day to try new things and step out of your comfort. To step out of your comfort zones, as we'll be able to adapt quickly to new situations. I told you, the string of the puppet master cut. Okay? Literally, you get to go out, you basically get to go out on a whim. That's what the experimental aspect of it. Experimenting is it's synonym of going out on a whim. Then also on the same day, Sun in Libra trines Pluto in Aquarius. This is where the power struggle is happening. This powerful aspect helps make positive changes in your life today. You might seek influential positions in larger organizations and easier to win people over. I said this 2 to 3 lives ago. There is a shift in internet presence. Okay? There will be a shift in internet presence, because that most people need to put their sword down of their truth, or to speak the truth or a truth, whatever has to go away. That means that the people need to be led by someone that actually is going to speak the truth with the wisdom behind it and the gift of God or Buddha, Allah, whoever you believe in. They need to learn something. A lot of people, they have an overconsumption of unnecessary data of the mind and the subconscious. We talk so much about manifest. We talk so much about a lot of these like rage bait and also clickbait information that people don't know how to align the clickbait with their subconscious. They consciously think about it, then create stagnancy in their subconscious to where they can't manifest because they don't see an opportunity. And the reason why they don't see an opportunity is because when they're clicking the clickbait, or they're clicking the rage bait, or they're over consuming the information that they see, everybody's output, outlook, people's input, people's, direction, that they don't see it as an opportunity for something that they can execute. So if you get an idea off YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the newspaper, YouTube, Yelp, Bing, Reddit, you get an idea off these things. One of the issues that a lot of people have is the fact of that the idea sounds great. They fall in love with the idea, but they don't fall in love with the outcome of the goal. And because most people visualize an outcome, that means that they normally cannot execute the outcome, because of the fact of their visualization of the outcome has now completely surpassed their subconscious tapping into a lane of receiving the instructions to get the outcome. Most people don't give themselves enough time to be receptive of instructions to overcome the obstacles of their subconscious. Okay? It's very simple. They always say faith without work ain't nothing. It's very simple. Most people think that it includes more steps than it does, but each step is included in a level. Each step is included in a series. So when you see, like, I'm gonna give y'all an example, my closet. So right now I'm doing a boutique closet, right? If I was falling in love with the idea of the boutique closet, that I was seeing it all over social media. When I was seeing it all on social media, then I started to fall in love with the outcome from something that I visualized. So then what it did is it created obstacles to basically say that I'm not going to be able to get this shelf. That's not going to fit right. It's not going to look right. They're not going to be able to do this. They're not going to be able to do that. Instead of me deciding to say, I'm going to take what I visualize, and I'm going to also take the excitement, I'm going to take the desire for the outcome, and I'm going to take it step by step. So I get the instructions. The instructions were to get the people to take down the shelf first. Okay. The second thing was to have them come look and see if they could do X, Y, and Z first. Okay. Once I actually put the request in for the people to come see if they could take the shelf down, then all of a sudden what literally, it was so crazy, it fell right behind it. I went to actually say, I'm gonna go get the damn bookshelves. So I went to Target to get the bookshelves. They didn't have the color I wanted. Instead of me now being in uproar and now being discouraged as if there's an obstacle to not complete my task, I now continue to be receptive to something that I have visualized, because more instructions will come. The next instructions come, go to Walmart. What does Walmart have? Walmart has 13, 14, 15 boxes of black bookshelves, because that's what I want. You have to be able to be receptive of directions to create the conclusion of the idea that you've fallen in love with so much. And because you don't know how the emotion of love feels, then you don't realize that the momentum that you feel, that you are now misidentifying as love, it's actually the momentum for you to complete the task. All right, listen to that slowly. All right. He said, what is your fine self talking about? Lord have mercy. Just go back and listen, but you got to listen slow, okay? You just got to listen slow. Damn. Boy, she hot on that shit, boy. She is taking y'all asses up out of here. All right. Mars and Scorpio squares Pluto and Aquarius. Watch out for power struggles. Your drive to win could blur your perspective. Stay confident, but be strategic in your approach to success. People, you don't have a power struggle within yourself about what you deserve and what you want. That's crazy, because that's actually the last event that's happening in September. Wow, that's crazy. Everything happens within the next 2 days. And then I think we go into October. Hold on one second. Walk in cool. Child, and we do. And we do. So that's about it. That's if the path chosen for you. Most people are following and doing what others want them to do. This whole live was about you. I don't teach people to live for other people, so I don't know nothing about that, baby. It's not a path that's chosen for you. It's the path that your ass should be taking. Most people think that they have a choice. You think you got a choice? With the year, how the year is going, you think you got a choice to continue to ignore? Shit. You keep doing it if you want to. I'll see you in 6 months with you talking about, oh, gee, I just don't know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to get through that. I'd be like, oh. But when I told your goofy ass just to do what you're supposed to do, you talk about, I don't know what I'm supposed to do and I don't know how I'm going to get out. Should have had a V8. Should have had a V8. Smack him dead on the forehead, ho. Thank you. All right, I gotta go. I gotta debrief. I gotta go debrief. And I gotta finish the closet. Clothes everywhere. Boxes everywhere. The man I'm supposed to come and build the rest of the stuff tomorrow. All right, y'all. I love you. I'll see you later. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. I am so happy, and I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so grateful for everyone. All my new people, I'm so grateful for you, because without you, where the fuck? Well, I'm not gonna say where the fuck I would be, because bitch, we would get there regardless. But no, for real though, I'm truly grateful, like truly grateful that a lot of people have pulled up, showed out, talked. You know, sometimes God will say, like, you know, I need you to pivot. Like, you know, God will say, like, I need you to pivot, child. You know, so that's something that God definitely told me to do. And because I was frustrated and aggravated And when God tell you to pivot, he gonna do his big one. Every time you decide to not, you know, travel with the ball, or when you decide to not give up on the game, you really just say, I'm gonna pivot. Like, even if you get stuck between two opponents and they have an amazing defense, just pivoting really creates a lot of momentum, because now what you're doing is you're creating space between you and your opponent. So that's something that y'all caught that basketball reference? Okay. Glad that the girl know the sports. But no, for real, when you pivot, you create space between you and your opponent, that you can kind of figure out what's your next game plan without you, being stuck. So very grateful, very grateful, very grateful. Sometimes you just pass the ball and you'll get it back. So yeah, you just create space, you pivot so you don't travel, so you don't lose it, no turnovers. This is a season of no turnovers. Okay, I'll do October wisdom later this week, or probably later this week. I feel the energy is gonna shift right after we get through these next couple of days. I'm gonna probably do it either Friday or Saturday. But I do feel like, this is a season of no turnovers. Okay. You win basketball games with defense and free throws. Yeah. Defense and free throws and rebounds. That's how you win basketball games. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your hearts open. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouths shut. Okay, if that's not a message I keep hearing, keep your mouth shut. I told God, anything I say, if I say it the wrong person around the wrong thing, honey, get me the coffin. Shit, get me the coffin. Cause what the hell? Don't just shut up. And one thing I'm learning, when you shut up, you'll realize there's a lot more clues than you think. You are receiving a lot more clues than you think. So as they talking about the rapture and God's ETA, which I think is crazy. If you actually shut up, God will tell you if he getting close. Like he might not tell you I'll be there at 7:03 p.m. on the 24th at 3rd Street, but he'll give you clues so you can be exactly where you need to be at the time you need to be there, saying what you need to say and how you need to say it and who you need to say it around. Clock it. You know what I'm saying? Clock it. He might not say where he gonna be, but if you pay attention long enough and you listen long enough, all of a sudden, like, one thing that I noticed about God lately, and I love this so much, and I think it's just so playful of him, is that he speaks in code and riddles. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever been like on a scavenger hunt where they give you all these codes and they'll be like, roses are red, violets are blue. I knew when I met you it would be true. Now meet me at the street, you know what I'm saying, across the loo or some shit. Or meet me at the street, you know what I'm saying? Or like, go to the street that rhymes with blue. And it's like, oh shit, like it's something like that, where it's like, it's kind of corny, but it's also kind of fun. It can be a little frustrating. It gets you to think, but like, that's how his information is coming into me. I love it. Because everything is coming in a message. Songs, movies, like you said, TV shows, side conversations. I am so glad you spoke on that, Elijah. Now, one thing about, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit of an ear hustling ass bitch. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be, but lately, I've been really like, I honestly be minding my business, but it's just like, the conversation is just very loud. Like, why the fuck y'all so loud? But it's like, what's so crazy? It's like as if people are talking, and when they talking, it get to a certain, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's get to a certain part of the conversation, and it just sound like radio clear. Like, they could be talking about like, oh, you know what I'm saying, I went to Amsterdam, and you know what I'm saying, my grandchildren, and yeah, and I was talking to them about the job, and we were talking about Johnny to the tennis club, and yeah, yesterday so and so inherited a house. He'd be like, what the hell? Why y'all so loud? Why y'all so loud? But that's why they be loud, because it's something you needed to hear. Yeah. Yes. And one thing about me, I'm just like, shit, whatever. Whatever you say, I'm like, okay. Okay, I like this. Yes. For me, it's definitely like little key things. And I'm just like, touche. I've been really, I've been really on some like touche shit with my spirit team lately. Like, oh yeah, you cold for that one. Like they'll do something or they'll say something or like they'll make something happen around me and I'll be like, oh yeah, you cold for that. That was cold. Like that was cold. Like that you ate with that one thing right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta spend more time with you. I gotta spend more time with you. Like literally, I have been saying that to them. Like, I gotta spend more time with y'all because y'all are clever as hell. Y'all have the most like clever, cool ass ways for me to stay locked in. And I think it's also because one thing that is building a lot of protection around our subconscious is our desires, our excitement. So, you're so excited about something, you now bring this force field around it. You know what I mean? And when you bring a force field around your subconscious, like they think that shit's cool. They like to show you little magic tricks. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you kids with your grandparents and they do little weird shit that now that you older, you clearly know it's like not real. But back then you're just so fascinated. I think that that type of innocence is needed right now because we're in a world that's killing innocence and wisdom. I'm not gonna go too deep though. I'm not gonna go too deep on that one today. We just had to do this live, okay? So I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. As soon as it uploads, make sure you go listen to it. Let the week go by. Listen, speak your truth. Don't say too much. If God removes it, say thank you and keep it pushing. Focus on what lights you up. Focus on what makes you happy. Transmute the energy into something creative. It's amazing. You're amazing. I love you. And I'll see y'all next week. Clock it.